These charges are false. If any person deserves the presumption of innocence, it's that man right there. He has helped and developed a whole community in Windsor Village. He is a man of great compassion, of great strength, and of great courage. He has his family, his faith, and his God to rely upon. He places his faith in the judicial system, but let me just tell you something. At no time did he conspire to commit a crime with anyone. At no time did he make a false statement or knowingly made a false statement. At no time did he try to cheat anyone. Indeed, every person that invested in these bonds, that has asked for their money back, has gotten their money back. Let me say that again. Every single person that has asked for their money back has gotten it back. I'm going to turn it over to Reverend Caldwell for a few questions. We're not going to get in the weeds. We're not going to answer any detailed questions. We're simply here to tell you he is absolutely 100% not guilty. As I said earlier, I plan on beating this case like a rented mule. We're going to get there. Go ahead. A few questions?
How do you know, Pastor, this co-conspirator that's named with you, this financial advisor, how do you know him?
You can go and generally answer that.
I was introduced to him by a common colleague.
And were any of the investors church members?
Not to my line, no. This all started in Miami. In fact, when the process began, I did not even know any of the investors.
I don't know if the rest of you could hear Lynn's question or not, but he asked if any of the investors were church members, and that they were not.
Yeah. So since once the process began, I met some of the investors, but I did not bring any of them into the deal. And let me just say this, well, first of all, thank you very much for coming. Thank the press for coming. Thank Brother Caldwell for representing me. We've been involved in the community now for over 30 years, have added a lot of value, spiritually, economically, and otherwise, and everything was done decently and in order. And I fully expect the process to continue. These bonds are legitimate. The process is legitimate. I fully maintain that the accusation is baseless, and I hold evidence in my hand to the authenticity and the legitimacy of the bonds.
If the bonds are legitimate,
right,
why did you have to return money?
Well, that's a very good question. It's been a process, and as is stated in the agreement with the investors, if at any point in time you become impatient with the process and you want your money back, I'll pay you your money back, which I did in full. Everyone to date who has requested his or her money back has received their money back.
How much money is that?
Oh, we're not going to get into detail, but a lot. Attorney may choose to answer that on my behalf.
He's returned almost $1 million.
And so why was the money returned? I want to be clear here. Was it because the promises made could not be met?
No, it was because the contract, if the investors were dissatisfied, they had the right to request their money back.
And why were they dissatisfied?
Because it was taking longer than they wanted, I suppose. But the point is, if they requested their money back, the money was returned.
Did anybody who was promised, according to the documents, a large return on their investment, did anybody get a return on their investment?
They have not yet. Correct.
So you're saying
But-
that the bonds are still, it's ongoing, they're still investing and they can get a return at some point?
He still believes that the bonds will pay off. Absolutely does. And again, he invested more of his money than anybody else did.
Pastor, what was the goal in the investment opportunity?
The goal is to make people money.
Is that a common thing you've done over the years?
And to invest it in the community. A lot of folk who are involved in this process are very interested in making substantial contributions to humanitarian projects. And in fact, just kidding on the table here if there's too much information. In fact, at the church, we've
Too big to keep.
celebrated this as the Ephesians 3:20 project, which would simply continue what we have begun. So it's a substantial humanitarian
A
effort.
few more questions.
So you guys
the benefits of it, the benefits of it.
Again, he did not sell to church members.
Right.
He talked about investing the benefits of the bonds, once they paid off, back into the church.
Based on money that you invested? And how much of your own money did you invest?
A lot.
A lot.
Millions?
Millions?
Several $100,000.
A
Several
lot.
$100,000.
A lot.
Did you get any return on your investment?
Not yet.
Do you expect to?
Yes, I do.
At what point?
Soon.
This has been 5 years. You have not
Yes.
seen a
Yes, it
return.
has. But just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it won't happen.
A few more questions, guys, and we're going to wrap up.
What's the legal process now, from
That's
where
it.
you are, could you walk us through?
Sure.
what you see
And-
on the
and-
next steps?
And despite my righteous indignation earlier, let me be clear. The Assistant United States Attorney in this case had the courtesy to call me yesterday. He doesn't have to call me and let me know that a client of mine has been indicted. He extended that professional courtesy. We will surrender Reverend Caldwell at some point in the next week to 10 days. He will post a bond in Shreveport, be released. Most of these cases of this complexity take about a year. Most of these cases of this complexity take about a year, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. We're in front of a very good district judge there in Shreveport. He's very smart, he's very fair, he's very good. It'll take about a year. There will be several court appearances, but ultimately I do expect this case to go to trial, and ultimately I expect to prevail.
You're turning yourself in Shreveport
Yes, sir.
in a week to 10 days?
Week to 10 days.
What impact will this have on the church?
We'll find out on Sunday.
He has received tremendous support from church followers. Many. That would be Exhibit A. One more question.
I have to say, Pastor, I've been here a dozen years, interviewed you many times, but the overall response to this has been complete shock and disbelief. Can you address the magnitude of the charges in light of the man that we have come to know?
Sure, I would simply say I share the shock and disbelief. And, we look forward to moving forward and, as counsel has said, have to address the issue at hand. I do want to say this as well. All along the process, I had, and this is very important, legal counsel. At no point was I just out here doing this willy-nilly. Everything that was done in accordance with that counsel, and unfortunately, we are where we are today. But
Talk about the
but
proof. I know you said you have proof. Can you
yeah,
talk a little bit
no,
about
we
that?
don't want to do that today.
I intend to try
But-
this case in the courtroom. I know that.
But we have it.
So we want to be clear here. You're saying these bonds are legitimate and worth something and will return investment?
What we are saying, Lynn, is that he absolutely believed these bonds are legitimate. He absolutely believed that. He would have never sold an investment opportunity in a bond that he didn't believe to be worthwhile.
And we have evidence.
No comment, no question, Dan. I just want to say, we are all in.
Thank you, Howard.
All in.
Thank y'all.
So was it somebody else you could say that was?
We're not here to speak about anybody but Pastor
Pastor,
Kirbyjon.
what comment do you have to the Houston community as far as their reaction on his way? Because Lynn mentioned earlier, what response do you have to them?
Right. I want to thank you once again for your prayers and for your prayerful support. Thank you for the widespread support that I've been getting over the last few days. And just as you were shocked and disappointed, I am shocked as well. And as we go forward, the truth will prevail.
Look, I've spent 35 years in this business. The process is bumpy, it is unfriendly, it's rough, it's expensive, and it's incredibly stressful. But I believe in the process. I believe the right thing will happen. And I certainly believe the right thing will happen in Reverend Kirbyjon's case, and we will prevail. We're done.
Were you misled by Mr. Smith?
We're not going there, Lynn. We're not here to talk about anything about the other co-defendant.
Do you feel as though you were just in over your head?
We-
Obviously, the intentions were good, but was it just something that got out of
we're not gonna get into that. Okay, guys, I really do appreciate y'all coming. Thank you very much.